Good morning, everyone. Happy Hump Day. Happy Hump Week. So let's see what the animals have to offer to us medicine-wise. I always say I'm a terrible shuffler, so I don't really like to show people that I'm shuffling. So you can hear me do that, right? The Hump Day reading is to bring in extra support for the week. Midweek, I feel like there's so much going on at such a rapid rate that I really sense and feel that we need added support midweek. You can always check out my weekly duo medicine offering on Facebook and on Instagram. But this is just additional stuff. Okay, let's see what the cards have to offer us. So in the earth position, I want to make sure I'm getting that in. In the earth position, we have buffalo medicine. It is an earth card in the earth position, so we're very, very grounded in the sacred medicine of buffalo. And this means that we are receiving potentially at a very rapid rate, that I personally can vouch for it being at times really overwhelming. The buffalo has very directional horns, and that indicates that it is a very grounded, earth-connected, Gaia-connected medicine that is directly receiving and offering messages and wisdoms, insight from Creator / divinity, whatever your definition of that is. If you notice on the card, there is a thunder and lightning symbology there. And that is because buffalo medicine can come in like a stampede. It can be heard and felt from a very long distance. It is very intense. If it was out of balance, which it is not, I would say that it would have the tendency to be a little pushy and bullish and somewhat know-it-all-ish. But it is in balance, so that means that it is very grounded and receiving in a very big and at times overwhelming pace or flow. So this is how we are midweek. This is the potential. It could be like very implosive, explosive experience. So our spirit card, that's very interesting because it is obviously inverted. So there is potential for learning lessons and wisdom, insight, and expansion. The medicine of the butterfly is, of course, transformation. And it is an air card. So this has to do with communication and thoughts. Makes sense because I feel that buffalo, like I said, can come in with a big push to where we can feel very overwhelmed. And it can kind of set us off balance and feel overwhelmed. And I feel that's why butterfly is inverted. Easily, of course, to bring that back into balance. Remember, we are in control of the flow, of how and when we receive. So if buffalo is coming in, if the medicine, the messages, and the wisdoms are coming in at too fast a pace and it's overwhelming you, take pause. Ground. It's very grounded. So ground, but request that instead of coming in like a thunderbolt, a thunder herd across the prairie is the visual. Perhaps the visual should be more like the herd grazing and just gracefully accepting and taking in the nourishment that is being offered. That will bring butterfly and its transformative medicines into balance for us. This is pretty powerful midweek. Doesn't surprise me. I can validate personally this whole scenario. Moments of feeling overwhelmed, feeling actually at times disheartened because the messages, visions, and potentials come in at such a fast, thunderous pace. We can process that as, of course, we're overwhelmed, so we can process that as in a very overly excited emotional state, which can lead us into a little bit of fear and insecurity. So we just need to take pause, step back, and take control of how you are experiencing your connection with divinity. Divinity has a lot to offer, and at times it sets up the medicines for those who can handle this. It is amazing. And typically those people who do receive that speed have an outlet to express and share. And they're usually ahead of the curve of what is happening, what is coming down the line. If you're feeling overwhelmed, though, no matter where you are in your receiving, just slow it down, slow the pace down, and this card will come into balance for you. And the spiritual transformation as a result of what you're receiving will be very apparent. So in the fire position, we have the hawk. It is an air card. So again, this is about communication with our passions and desires. It's also about what we need to potentially release and let go. And we are heading into a new moon. So this is very timely and very accurate. The hawk. Everyone knows that the hawk is the messenger. I like to take it a little bit deeper than that. And for the individual, remember, this is a general reading. So for you as the individual, you have to perhaps not, perhaps look into exactly what kind of hawk is presenting to you, because they all individually offer slightly different meaning and messages and medicine. I take this in a general way in these readings because only you truly know what type of hawk is coming to you. So hawk medicine indeed is the messenger. It is, again, on the earthly plane where the eagles are of messengers and receivers of prayer to be delivered on a more divine or higher level. Hawk stays more on the earthly plane. So it's everyday message. It's what do you need right now in your everyday life. They're kind of, I like to liken them to the working man's messenger because they do really give us a nice, clear, precise message and support during our everyday lives. So don't be surprised if you see, hear, and experience hawk a little bit more this week, going into the new moon for this weekend. Okay, so see if I can get this to work. In the air position, which is, of course, communication and our thoughts, we have a fire card. It's in balance. So we get a little befuddled up here in our receiving and communications with spirit. We straighten it out and we continue to receive, but now it's kind of a complete picture. We've gone, the divinity route and connecting with spirit, and now we come into our everyday lives with receiving messages, continuing to feel balanced. We now go into our communication in a very balanced, very passionate direction. Fire ant medicine is a fire card. Makes sense. When it is in balance, it is all about doing the work. So whatever messages you are receiving, it has everything to do with being productive and getting it out and communicating it clearly. Many of us will be somewhat blazing a path. You see the connection there. Blazing a path with what we're receiving. We're also, many of us, ahead of the curve. So don't be surprised if there is a lot of prophetic offerings and insight this week, either via yourself or others. But fire ant medicine is all about communication, drive, purpose, and clarity. They really do work together. There is complete unity in fire ant medicine. So now we go into, wow, it is a hot week. So now we go into the emotions of it all. And this is beautiful because look at the balance of the element of fire. So there's a lot of passion, a lot of desires, also a lot of releasing, which goes in alignment with the new moon this weekend. So Scorpion is in the water position. It is in balance, so water is not smoldering out. You're not overly emotional at this point. You're feeling very balanced in your emotions, effectively communicating. There is no, Scorpion has the ability to kind of turn on you and get stingy. There's none of that this week. It is very, very big, though. It has everything we communicate to and receive from, and in community is very, very to the point, and very driven by passion and what our desires are as a collective consciousness. Scorpion is a somewhat all-knowing medicine, and I don't mean, if it was out of balance, it would be kind of ego based, but it's not. So there is a balance between being full of yourself and ego-based, and expressing emotions from a very heart-centered, balanced place. So this is a really beautiful, empowering, powerful reading for us this week, this midweek. And I sense that there's going to be a lot of releasing, healthy releasing. Let's put the intention out that there will be less chaos in our expression and more balance and peaceful expression of what our desires and passions are. We should be able to support each other, whether we agree with each other completely or not. I am curious to see what the final, the final result would be. Let me make sure you see this. It is the cobra. So this is a fire card. Our inner fire, our desires and our passions are completely ignited and in flow. Cobra is an ancient earth fire medicine. It has the similar transformational medicine potential as, say, the Thunderbird or the Phoenix, the Eagle. All of those have very high ancient wisdom based medicine. The Cobra is all about patience in receiving and expression. So there you have it. That is the medicine offer for this week. It is way, way intense. Find your balance. It's easy to work this out. And once you do, on fire, in a good balanced way. There's not going to be any forest fires. Elements have varying degrees. So when we speak about all this fire, it's all in balance. So that means there's no raging, out of control, hot-headedness going on. This is more about a very balanced inner fire that has the capability of being very effective in expression and sharing and receiving wisdoms, insights, and as a result, incredible growth. I hope you enjoyed this. Please share, like, and subscribe. Peace in, peace out.